Okay, this is a weekly update from the 20th to the 24th. So, what happened this week? Okay, so this week on Monday, the market just popped up here. It popped up above this balance area. This is the Dow Jones, and this is a daily chart. And so it popped up and it came back down. So it's pretty much stayed right in this area. Today it popped up and it's back at the very top of this balance area. So I still have my plan set. I still have some options. I believe I did purchase some more options up here. I had mentioned that. Put options, that is, and just to write this thing down. So I still believe this thing is going to come down to at least this point. It's probably going to do a couple little retracements in between and then continue on down below that. That's the plan. So this thing's been balancing out for since October last year, and it finally broke down and it retested and is back down here. So I believe by Monday of next week, this should either continue to channel, which I think it's getting kind of long in here, and it's going to break down, and when it does, then it's got another free fall going down. So when I say long, these balance areas, they don't usually last more than 1 or 2 weeks. You can see the balance area here. This one's pretty close to the same size. Another one here. Another balance area here. And you can see here's another one here. And this one's coming close to where it's going to have to start breaking down pretty soon. And my guess is next week. That's what's going to happen. So hopefully it doesn't go one more week. It'll take it out to this far, and it's pretty long, and then finally it will break down. But eventually it's going to come down. Okay, so here's a chart of the ES, the S&P, and pretty much same thing. Came down and came up. It went a little bit further than the NASDAQ, than the Dow, and it's up here. It kind of made a double top up here a couple of days ago, and now it's down back to this area. And I believe it's going to start heading down by next week. I already got my put options in place, and a couple day trades inside here in between. And so if you watch my videos, you'll see what I do as far as day trading and how I enter the market. So the NASDAQ's been pretty impressive. You know, it broke out of this box and actually made a new high up here. And now it's up at this point. So I believe this is a top. I don't think it's going to go any further than this. And it's going to start coming down. I thought this was the top, but it was the top in all the other markets, as far as the Dow, the S&P, and of course the Russell. But the NASDAQ just took off here. And so it's up here. I mean, it's going up on bad news. So basically, there's nothing really to keep this thing floating. You know, outside of what the traders are doing. But there's when I say there's no reason, it's because it's all bad news out there. Okay, here's a Russell, and like I mentioned before, I like Russell's kind of my indicator because Russell's been leading the way down since October of last year. It started to go down, and then about 2 months later, all the other indexes followed, and then of course they've been going down. It's a downtrend since then. So this one here is getting pretty close to this bottom right here. And let's see here. Okay, so this is a daily chart, but anyway, it reached its top up here somewhere around November, beginning of November, and all the other indexes reached their top here. So this one's been going down and kind of leading the way. It's in this pretty good size balance area right here. It's been balancing out, you know, pretty much here like that for a while. And it's starting to get close to this bottom here. And then once it breaks the bottom, of course, it's going to start free falling. And it's really close. I mean, it might even break that next week. Where if you look at the Dow Jones, and it's kind of far from this bottom right here. But it did break out of this balance area, so now it's going to do some free falling in here. And then the ES right here, it's kind of far from this bottom too, where you just saw the Russell, and the Russell's down in this area. So obviously the Russell's leading the way, and these are going to start following. And then of course NASDAQ is it's way behind. So here's the bottom here. That's the low point. And it's way up here. It's higher than all the other indexes. So that means all that means to me is it's got further to go. And you know, if you're trading the Qs, you can actually trade this, and you can probably make some pretty good money going down. Because the Qs are a really good ETF. It kind of it goes head to head with the spiders. You know, it's got a lot of volume with that too. So I used to trade the Qs all the time, and I still trade it once in a while. But in a situation like this, with it being so high like this, I compare it to the real estate market, the bubble that we had in 2007, 2008. It's just at the top, and it just came crashing down. So it's a lot of good opportunity shorting that coming up. Okay, so as far as day trading, this is spiders. I trade options on the spiders. You know, there's been some pretty good day trades here. Of course, the balance area, and it broke down, came up here, created another balance area and broke down. And then today I had mentioned that when the market was up here, it was creating this was early in the morning, about half an hour after the market started, and I had mentioned that because it made this kind of double top, that if the market did break down, this might be a good entry point to go down. Now that's if the market was going down, because we've got this downtrend here. But the market did not do that. It actually went the other way. So it didn't give any signal going down. So there was no trade today. Like I said, I needed this signal here, and then I needed some confirmation. Wait, right here. I needed some confirmation that it was going to go down and stay down. And it was down here, and it looks like it's a pretty good maybe set up to go down, but I was watching a Russell at the same time, and the Russell was not moving. So as long as the Russell's not moving, I'm not going to get in. If the Russell starts moving and heading down, which it usually does before this does, then that would give me the opportunity to get into the market, and that did not happen today. So when I trade, I want to make sure that these trades are in the 90% range as far as profit. I want to be sure, and I want to be at least 90% sure on my trades. And definitely that did not happen today, so I didn't get in. And that's it. Sometimes I just don't trade, or at least day trade. Okay, so what's the plan for Monday? This market actually took off pretty big here. Hasn't had a correction yet, and I believe this is the top. The market should start coming down, so we're going to wait for a nice short on Monday. See what happens. Of course, I'm going to have to start to see a nice little balance area to come off of that, or some kind of indication. At the same time, watching the Russell and see if the Russell makes new lows, and then I'll get in going short. Okay, so here we are in a 4-hour chart. This is the spiders. So if this market continues down, that would be great. I would probably short this market because I already have my put options in place, and I would probably day trade, this on the way down. And so same thing with the Dow Jones. I feel like it's probably going to start heading down Monday next week. Of course, if this market starts breaking out, going over here, then all bets are off. I don't see that happening, but it could, and then I'll just have to kind of wait, because as it is now, I'm not going to trade going long. I'm not going to buy any call options. I mean, unless I see a really good setup, then I'll do that. But it's a downtrending market, so I don't like to go against the trend. Okay, so that's it for this week, for this video, and that's what happened this week. Maybe you bought some put options like I did. I mentioned it in my videos, and then I think I mentioned a couple day trades that I did. And next week's a new week, and let's see what's going on. Just to let you know, the markets are extremely weak right now. There's a lot of stuff going on in the news with the banks, interest rates, and everything. I mean, it's not unemployment. I think it's a Walmart or somebody just let go lots of people. I mean, there's just these companies are just letting go a lot of people, and eventually this is all going to hit the market like it did back in 2007. I remember there was a lot of problems during that year, but a lot of people just weren't paying attention. And then also in 2008, at the end of 2007, 2008, it hit all at once because people weren't paying attention, and it just all came to an apex, and it just couldn't go any further, and then it all just collapsed. And actually, it was even collapsing before that. But once it gets to that point where it just can't go any further, then it just tanks, and that's what happened. And so those are the indicators that you can see right now with the banks going under. This is just the beginning. We're going to see banks going under all year, and like they suggested that I guess the banks are trying to monopolize. There's only going to be 5 or 6 banks left by 2025. At least that's what they're talking about. So see what happens there. But either way, none of this looks good, and I see these markets going down. I see a lot of opportunity of making a lot of money doing that. So that's it for now. So I'll talk to you guys next week.